Heading overseas now to another story, and the chair of the Adani Energy Group has been charged in the United States over an alleged multi-billion-dollar bribery scheme. Correspondent Isabella Higgins joins us now from Washington. And Isabella, what can you tell us about this?
Well, good morning, Kath. This 5-count indictment was unsealed in the federal court in New York today. It listed Gautam Adani and 7 other of his associates. Now, prosecutors say these charges relate to what they describe as a years-long multi-billion-dollar bribery and fraud scheme. Now, in this indictment, it alleges that Mr. Adani, his nephew, and 1 other executive at the Adani Group met with representatives from the Indian government and over the course of 4 years from 2020 to 2024 paid about $250 million to try and secure lucrative solar energy contracts that are said to be worth billions of dollars. Now, after this, prosecutors say that representatives from the Adani Group misrepresented this contract, covered up corruption and misled US and international investors, and then were able to raise billions of dollars in bonds and loans for the company. Now, it's probably important to talk about who Gautam Adani is. He is one of the richest men in the world, the head of the Adani Energy conglomerate. He currently resides in India, and court records suggest that at this time US authorities have issued an arrest warrant for him, and that's now been handed over to foreign law enforcement. We've reached out to the Adani Group. It's still very early in India, and at this time we haven't had a comment from the Adani Group.
Isabella Higgins, thank you.
Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I go by the name Romy Rolls on all social media platforms, as you can see on your screens right now. Thanks so much for clicking onto this video. Make sure you follow me on the different platforms as you can see on your screens right now. And today's big question is Kenya abductors' playground? Because it's so unfortunate that in Kenya, people are being abducted left, right, and center. Just in case you've talked or criticized the government in any way, they unfortunately make you a target, and that has been happening for the longest time right now. But it's a high time right now we stand and talk against this, because it's so unfortunate and very impunitive against the people, and it has gone to an extent where even the foreigners are being abducted. And the latest case is the case of the opposition leader of Uganda, who goes by the name Besigye and it's so unfortunate that he has gone through what he has been taken through, because it's so unfortunate that he came into Kenya as a private citizen, and he was his intention was to attend the Martha Karua public function of launching his book, and it ended up making him being abducted back to Uganda unlawfully, because it's being said that some Ugandan mercenaries came into Kenya and abducted him back to Uganda, and he's being charged with illegal firearms, which I believe, if that's the case, he was supposed to be caught or arrested by Kenyan police officers, not Ugandan mercenaries, and being arraigned here in Kenya, and that should have been Milimani law courts. And it's so unfortunate that as Kenya we are letting our guards down to allow mercenaries from Uganda to come and abduct people from Kenya. Even if somebody has committed a crime and is a foreigner, he has committed that crime here in Kenya, he shouldn't be taken away from Kenya and gone and charged in their home country, because the mistake or the crime has been committed here in Kenya. And in this case, I don't even believe he had committed any crime. It's just the impunitive way of running Uganda by the man Museveni, who I believe his day is coming to an end in terms of leading Uganda. he has been leading that country as if it's his house or something like that, in a dictatorial way. And I believe Ugandans will stand against that very soon, because it has come to a point where they can't take it anymore, you know. And I believe they'll have their freedom very soon, because they have always been battered, just in case they want to stand against the impunity they have been enforced into, and it's so unfortunate. But I believe here in Kenya, in some way, our police officers and our leadership, starting with the head, which is the rotted head by the man William Ruto, is the one who allowed this to happen, because you know he's a friend of Museveni, and Museveni doesn't like when his opposition is getting, you know, power, or is getting freedom in terms of getting ways of overseeing him, or overthrowing him in the next election or something of the sort, you know. So I think he contacted Ruto, and they found a way of getting where Obasanjo was, and he sent his men to come and abduct him, and he was taken back to Uganda unlawfully, according to the laws here in the country. The Constitution of Kenya doesn't allow any person who has committed a crime here in Kenya to be charged in other, or the home country of that foreign individual. He's supposed to be charged here in this country because he has committed the crime here in this country. But in this case, the man even hadn't committed any crime, you know. It's not a offense to travel to another country, you know. His main agenda was to travel to come and support Martha Karua in her book launch. But in this case, you know, the Museveni, the Ugandan president Museveni felt, felt intimidated by that move, and he made an action of, shattering the ambitions of Besigye, who is the opposition leader, you know, of getting to interact with other opposition leaders, because Martha Karua is among the opposition leaders here in Kenya. So Museveni felt like Kiza Obasanjo will be, you know, rejuvenating himself and getting powerful more and more, because the more he gets support from the opposition leaders here in Kenya, you know, it will be a threat to Museveni and his dictatorial way of ruling. So I believe Kenya has played a massive role in the abduction of Obasanjo, and Kenyans are not happy, you know. We are against that, and we are in support of the opposition leaders in Uganda, because we believe Ugandans deserve better in terms of leadership, and I believe one day they'll get that revolution, and they'll get to enjoy their country, you know. And in terms of the previous abduction that have been happening, in terms of the foreigners, we've seen Turkish foreigners being abducted, and we know these foreigners were seeking refuge in Kenya, considering that their home countries were not safe for them. But this government allowed the abductors to abduct them and take them back to Turkey, despite of that country being, despite their home country being unsafe for them, you know. It's unfortunate, and that's not even the last one. There have been cases where Sudan refugees were abducted back to their country, and it wasn't safe for them, and many other examples which have been highlighted by the Kenyan media, which they have been doing a very good job in terms of unleashing the truth against this impunitive government that we have currently. So I believe Kenyans will be in support of opposition leadership in Uganda, and will stand with them. And once we change our country, the country will be next, because I believe it's step by step, and all will be well. So guys, let's stand against abductions and illegal killings here in the country. Let's talk about it. The more we talk about it, the more it's aware outside in the international countries, and they'll send cautions to our leadership, and that's the way to go, because I believe we need a better country in terms of leadership and security. Everybody should be feeling secured in their own country, and even foreigners should be feeling secured in this country. So guys, let me know your opinion in the comment section, and I really appreciate. We stand by Besigye, Kiza, and every person who has been abducted and they haven't been found yet. I believe change is coming, and let's not lose hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Let's stay positive and let's stay strong, and all will be well. Successful people look like you. Let me know your opinion in the comment section, and I really appreciate. Bye bye, and see you on to the next one. Boom.
This involves Indian billionaire Gautam Adani and 7 other senior executives indicted by the Justice Department in connection with a scheme to pay hundreds of millions of dollars in bribes to Indian government officials to access solar energy contracts and efforts to conceal bribery schemes from U.S. investors. Now, keep in mind these fraud accusations were first came to light from short seller Hindenburg Research, which sent the stock in a free fall. Since then, it has rebounded, and we're watching Adani Enterprises here in overtime, but clearly a stock we're watching closely. Back to you.
You like me, why them a fight me. You like me, chewing a bone with a bite. You like me, chewing a bite. Don't like power and shit. We don't trust them, even if we bust them. We don't trust them, stay far, not touch them. We don't trust them, we'll be a man and sub them. In farm, I may say, you must them.